So, are you sure you're comfortable talking about this?
Yes. I think I am. Where do I start?
Well, um, the beginning is always a nice place to start.
Well, it was last year, just before the world went crazy with this coronavirus. Me and my best friends went to a trip to Paris for 5 days.
And did you like it in Paris?
I did. It was great. It was actually great. We went to the Louvre, to the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe. We walked around Champs Elysees, Montmartre. I saw Moulin Rouge. God, I'm obsessed with that musical, and it was magical to see the real place. It really was an amazing trip.
Yeah, Paris is. It's.
It's so different, it's so colorful and inspiring, and the people are always fancy dressed like they came out of a magazine. And the boys. The boys were so cute. French boys.
The boys are.
Yeah, so we went to this nightclub. I think it was called 79 Paris Club. It was so cool. The music was super nice. And they even played some old French club songs. I never partied like that. I never drunk like that. Oh my god, I was so drunk.
Were your friends drunk as well?
Thank god, no. They were just a little tipsy. Tipsy enough to let me make out with a French boy.
You did? Tell me more about it.
I did it because I was drunk. And because I was infatuated by him.
Тази музика е толкова яка, ние нямаме такава в дискотеките в България. Да, действително. Виж, ония те гледа. Какво? Виж, онзи те гледа. Кой?
I had just broken up with my boyfriend and I needed to let off some steam and experience something new.
Yeah, I know, the perfect medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did it happen?
I first noticed him looking at me. He had such an interesting look in his eyes, as if he was calling me. I even felt intimidated a bit, because no one has ever gazed at me like that. And then he approached me and asked me for a dance.
Hola, mi puedo sentir latino. ¿Cómo fala con te? Come franzusina con te. Sigo con te. Bonjour. I don't speak French.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Sure.
He was so charismatic and had such a nice smile. My heart skipped a couple of beats. I could not refuse him. And the way he touched my body, it made me shiver. It was so sensual. I had goosebumps all over my body. Oh, I never felt so sensitive to a human touch. We danced around. At some point, I felt I was flying. And then he started touching my face. He was looking straight into my eyes, looking into my soul, my deepest desires and emotions. He caressed my lips with his fingers and then
Allez, come,
Where?
come. Wow, your beautiful eyes.
I can't hear you.
Oh, he kissed me.
And how did he kiss?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've heard the expression that no one kisses like a French boy, but I've never taken it seriously. Until then. He was so smooth. I don't think I've ever been kissed like that in my whole life. He definitely knew what he was doing. I had an amazing time with him, and he even asked me to go to his place.
And did you? Did you go?
No, my friends were not drunk enough to let me go. He insisted a lot though, but when he saw he wouldn't get what he wants, he went after some other girls. Those French boys are not playing.
Yeah, I guess some are like that.
Perhaps. Nevertheless, we had such a wonderful night. We danced a lot. I can still hear the music and see the lights of the club flashing in different colors. It did feel like a different universe. Explosive. Pulsating.
Sounds very exuberant.
It was. It really was. It was our last night in Paris. And the next day we flew back to Sofia. I wanted to stay more. And I had to say à bientôt to Paris. I even listened to some French songs in the airplane.
Sounds like you really had a great time. I also want to go to Paris, but you know the coronavirus situation must go away first. C'est la vie. Anyway, what happened next?
What happened next is that I came back to Sofia and my life continued as normal. I had lectures, went out with friends, you know, ordinary stuff, a bit boring. And a mouth occurred, an after came out in my mind. And nothing extraordinary either, since I had them during almost every flu season, but this after didn't heal for weeks, and this was so odd. So I went to see a doctor and he just prescribed me an ointment to put on it.
Did it help?
Not really, and the after kept growing, which made it more painful. And it's difficult to eat because the food is irritating the after even more.
I usually buy enough tin and it helps. Have you tried it?
Yes, it didn't work, so I went to see another doctor and he prescribed me another ointment, which did not help either.
Really?
Yes. It was so weird. I had them before and it was not like this. It just didn't want to go away. And I began to worry. This definitely wasn't normal.
No, that's indeed weird. I mean, I also had afters and they usually healed for a week. Max.
Exactly. That's why I went to see a third doctor, and I told him that I already went to 2 doctors and they didn't help me. He asked me to show him the after. The previous doctors didn't actually ask me to see it, and I showed it to him, and he said I needed to do some testing and then come back with the results.
Дай да видя резултатите. Ако не ми кажеш откъде имаш тази афта, веднага ще викна полицията.
Моля?
Много добре ме чу.
Ами, не знам. На мен по принцип ми излизат не е нещо вау. Просто този път не минава. Добре, откъде да знам откъде е? Чак полиция да викате за такова нещо, ай стига сега.
Момиче, тази афта се появява само ако си се целувала с мъртъв човек.
Кво? Как така?
Така. Сега ще ми кажеш ли какво си правила или да викна полиция?
Аз не съм целувала мъртъв човек. Вижте, последният човек, с когото се целувах, беше едно момче от Париж и той беше мъртъв.
Кога беше това?
Преди някъде 3 седмици.
Афтата имаше ли я преди това?
Не. Тя ми излезе след като се върнах в България.
Имаш ли неговите координати?
Нямам.
Holy shit, you're joking. You are, right?
I'm not. Apparently, there were some bacteria in my mouth hooker that can be found only in dead bodies. That's why the cream was not working, and I needed an antibiotic that will attack the specific bacteria that were causing this infection, and then treat the hooker with cream or gel.
And did the doctor actually call the police?
He did call the police, and he explained the situation to them, yes. They asked if I had his number or something.
And did you?
No, I didn't have his number, nor his Instagram, nothing.
So there was no way for them to find him.
That's what I thought, but then I told my friends about this, and they showed me some photos of me and him. They actually took pictures of us, probably to make fun of me later.
No way. So you had his picture. Did you give it to them?
I did, yes. I had to fill some paperwork, the usual stuff, and then I was free to go home.
What happened next? Did they find him? Was it from him?
Well, after a week, the police called me, and they said that they have found the boy, and that they went into his house and found 3 female corpses. I do not know the details because they were confidential, and they asked me to identify him.
Identify him? But how? Online or?
No, I had to fly back to Paris. And I went to the police station where he was held, and he was in a room behind one-way mirror. You know, just like in the movies.
Was it him?
Yes. It was him. He was different though. He looked nothing like when I met him in the club. He seemed scared and dangerous. Very, very dangerous, you know. He had this predator look in his eyes, so cold and distant and vicious, like an animal ready to prey, trapped in a cage. And it's so upsetting how one can put such a mask and fool you. And he was so sweet and charismatic in the club, but in reality he was dangerous psycho. My God, I almost agreed to go to his place that night. And I have no idea what would have happened if I went. And honestly, it terrifies me. Thank God my friends were with me.
I never expected such a turn of the story. I'm shocked. And shock is understatement in this case. Would you go to Paris again?
I don't know. I think I will. I just have something in mind about strangers. Not just in Paris, but in general. I have to be more precautious. I wanted to experience something very sensual and beautiful. And it might have led to my end. It's just so filthy. Disgusting. I'm just so grateful that I got around just with a NAFTA.
What happened with the after anyway?
Oh, the doctor prescribed me an antibiotic to kill those specific bacteria, and it helped. My after disappeared after a week.
Good to know. Thank you for sharing this disturbing yet incredible story with me. I'm happy that nothing serious besides the after happened to you.
No problem. It was actually quite relieving seeing the story out loud. So, thank you for listening.
Anytime.
Признавам пред теб, че не мога да бъда сам. Безброй години, години наред аз не мога да спра своя бяг. Защо повярвах на думи, в които не вярва и малко дете? Защо избягах, защо повярвах? За кой ли път аз признавам пред теб, че не мога да бъда сам. Безброй години, години наред аз не мога да спра своя бяг. Защо повярвах на думи, в които не вярва и малко дете? Защо избягах, защо повярвах?